Hey everyone, it's Brava Chef Erin here, and today I'm super excited to announce that you can now cook a variety of proteins without the TempSensor in Brava. We're really excited to give you more options for how to cook meat in Brava, whether that be using the TempSensor or not using the TempSensor. So the new proteins that you can cook in Brava without a TempSensor include chicken drumsticks, ribeye steak, New York strip steak, filet mignon, salmon skin on and skinless, sausage, flank steak, pork chops, bone in and boneless, spatchcock chicken, and whole chicken. So what's the difference between cooking with a TempSensor and cooking without a TempSensor? So basically, cooking with a TempSensor will allow Brava to track the internal temperature of your meat, and that will let Brava know when to end the cook. If you're not cooking with a TempSensor, it's simply a time-based cook, and so you have to take into consideration the size, height, and possibly weight of the meat, and that will let Brava know exactly how long to cook the protein for. So now I'll walk you through how you can cook protein, specifically New York strip steak, without using a TempSensor in Brava. So now I have my New York strip steak that's fresh out of the fridge, and I just patted it dry with a couple of paper towels. And now we're gonna put it on the Brava tray, but first I'm gonna give it a nice sprinkle of kosher salt. Please note that with this time-based cook, we tuned each steak to come out to be around medium rare because we are not using the TempSensor. But don't worry, if you would like your steak more done, you can always put it in for more time. Or if you want a really precise cook, this is the perfect opportunity to use the TempSensor. Also note that we will be flipping the steak halfway through the cook, which is a bit different than our cooks that use the TempSensor. But don't worry, Brava will notify you and let you know exactly when to flip the meat. So now I'm also gonna want to measure how thick this steak is. So I go down here. It's about 1.5 inches thick. So I'm gonna use that when we plug all this information into Brava before we cook the meat. So let's just place this right on our metal tray here. And note that if you have 2 steaks that you wanna cook, all you're gonna need to do is you're gonna need to shift them to fit diagonally so that you can fit 2 properly into zones 1 and 2. But for now, since we're only cooking 1 steak, we're gonna put it right into zone 2, and then we're gonna press down a little bit just to make sure all of the meat has contact with the tray so that we can get a great sear on the outside of the meat. Okay, so now I'm just gonna load this on to Brava. So I have a New York strip steak, so New York, search for that, yep. And then I'm cooking 1 steak here, and I have a medium-sized steak because I measured that, and it was about 1.5 inches thick. And then this is the different page here. So notice that we have rare, medium, and all of these say you will need the TempSensor for this setting. If we are looking to cook without the TempSensor, I'm simply gonna click the last option here, which says time-based, and it says here you will not need the TempSensor. Perfect, so now I'm gonna load this on to the bottom shelf. And I'm just gonna press the green button. Okay, so Brava has now notified us that it's time to flip the steak. So let's open this up. Take this guy out. Ooh, look at that. Okay. Put that in here. Make sure it stays in zone 2, and then we're gonna press down again just to make sure all the outside of that meat is in contact with the tray. And then we will slide the tray right back in. And we'll press that green button. Okay, so Brava's letting me know that our steak is done. I'm just gonna take this right out. And I'm gonna immediately place our steak right on to a cutting board. Get it off of the hot metal tray so that it's slow as cooking. And what's different here is that we're gonna let this rest on the cutting board for about 2 to 3 minutes before we slice into the steak. Okay, so it's been about 3 minutes here, so I'm gonna slice into the steak, but first, take a look at this steak. Beautiful sear on both sides of the steak. And here we go. So I'm gonna slice. Oh, look at this guy. So remember, we tuned this to be medium rare. And if you would like it cooked more, you can always put it right back in Brava to cook some more. Or if you would like a really precise cook to a specific doneness, you can always use the TempSensor. So here we have it. New York strip steak cooked without the TempSensor. Look at that. Gorgeous. Thanks, guys.